Academia.
My Hero. I forgot to go to the chapter. Never mind. Here it is. So another short chapter.
Oh yeah, but main thing we can talk about here is fucking the yell, bro. The yell, just
Bro,
like
I was like, holy shit! Like this man's doing a whole banshee scream, and canary cry type shit, bro. Like holy shit.
I'm hoping that this sounds like a like a death metal, like I don't know, either like a rock or like a death metal, like I don't know. I wonder because like we've heard him scream before, but this has got to be like an intense one, like a more emotionally charged.
Yeah, that fucking oh my god, that panel was so.
Oh, the art. He puts like this vibration effect on everything. Like it's like I don't even know. I wonder if he does his art digitally or physically. I'd be curious because like sometimes he puts this effect on his art that just like makes it look like everything's like we put like 5% blur on this line, like, and it's just like everything looks like vibrating. I love it.
Yeah, and what really got me too was just like the whole bro Aizawa being like, "Hey yo, Mike,
do it."
And Mike's just like bro, oh my god, if they mess it up in the anime, oh my god, be riot, bro, because that shit was so good,
bro. Honestly, people are too spoiled with the anime. Like, generally speaking, My Hero. Hold on,
that's so dope. Like, that's so my aesthetic. You know what my aesthetic is? That badass shit. Like, my man Aizawa was like, "Hey yo, Mike, goodness. Mike, get in here." He's like, "Get it done, partner." And then this man was just like, like, bro. Yeah, bro.
That's your aesthetic? I've heard a lot of things. Hold on, wait. We've had this talk before about what your aesthetic is. I always thought it was like dumb bling on characters.
Like it's, I'm a huge sucker for like cheesy, cool, like badass moments and whatever. Like shit like that just gets me hyped, bro. Seeing Aizawa like all badass, like while he's fighting, he's just like, "Oh Mike, get in here," and like he's like, "Get it done." Like,
the partner thing is phenomenal. Like because these two and like we see them friends and like those kind of panels get me because like the panel where they're just walking to school together, that looks like a legit friend group right there. Like that looks real as hell. And like Aizawa's kind of like the shy kid in the background. They're like teasing him, but like in a nice way. And like look at that panel, bro. Like they were fucking like, but he's laughing. Like oh, that's so like. They're bros, you know, and you can see it and you can tell, right? And like imagine you know, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like okay, me and you and David, and like David gets like murdered, and then me and you are like, "All right, Thurman, we going in."
Bro, so you would be Aizawa and I would be President Mike. You'd be like, "Hey yo, Thurman, get it done." I would be like, "Bet."
Bet. That'd be your response. Just one panel, BET.
I'm just waiting for us to get a large fan base.
Oh,
and
I need fan art. I need it.
Fan art, you and David. No, the non you know gay fan art, of course, but like
no. I welcome all gay fan art.
Like yeah, well yeah, from time to time. I'm talking about the badass like you know how some like certain like YouTubers like fans will make like badass like
oh yeah.
fan art because I think some I don't know if you know like someone like Lost Paws or like
I used to watch Lost Paws back in the day when he did nothing but playing fucking like Nekopara and shit.
Yeah, like I know you and David are big fans of Hero Hey, but like this season those guys as an example, right? They have mascots for the YouTubers.
We got a mascot, bitch. You downplaying our mascot?
No, but I'm saying
our mascot's hot as fuck.
First of all, that is our child. That's the first thing. Secondly,
I don't know if that's canon.
but
let me just remind you of our mascot.
They'll make like fan art of us three, right, being all badass and shit, right? So I can just imagine like one of our like fans who can draw, like making the whole scenario you just said. Like David's was like their friend, and then me and you were just like, all right, it's time to get revenge for him.
Like that David's the one that dies.
Yeah. So, but the question is, who would be our enemy, though? I could say names, but
probably like some troll commenter.
Bro, just imagine.
Talk about My Hero Academia.
Just imagine.
Let's talk about My Hero. Here's the thing. Interesting thing here with My Hero. Horikoshi, I don't know who he thinks he's fooling, but he's ending the chapter like, well, I guess the Prince of Evil's dreams, or the King of Evil, or whatever the fuck he called himself. Let me find it. He says, the Lord of Evil's dreams will die. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Series over. The rest of it's gonna be all slice of life. So all you reaction channels can just check out right now.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be real. Like there's no like Horikoshi. I'd be shocked if he was like, "Oh yeah, that's it. Wrap it up, boys. This arc is over." No.
Killer Mike came in. Present Mike. What the fuck? Killer Mike's an actual DJ or an actual rapper or something. Present Mike came in. He's the one that killed Shigaraki. Did you ever think it was gonna be him?
Like, I'm gonna be real. If it ended like this, My Academia will drop in quality for me.
Yeah, but it's not going to.
Good. I hope, because there's something I heard some people. There was like a fan theory that was like, "Oh no, what if the arc actually ends and we have to do a prison break arc for Shigaraki?" I'm like, bro, these fans are wilding. Like,
I mean, I'm all for things that like throw us off, like our expectations. You know what I mean? But like doubt, right? I just hope that like this. You know what this is reminding me of? What he's got to do is make sure that however he comes back, it's got to feel believable, because they're doing this whole like we won thing, right? It can't just be like we're encroaching on him and big energy wave and oh my god, you know, like none of that shit. What this is kind of reminding me of is, you remember in One Piece in Sky Island arc, they thought they killed Eneru, like they used the big reject dial on his heart, and then he like restarted his own heart with his electricity power and like got back up. Remember that shit?
Yeah,
it's giving me those vibes. I don't know what they're going to do, because like the Doctor certainly seems to think that they failed. Like he's having this whole thing, and I can kind of get into the Doctor's mindset here, because his whole thing is like, I devoted my entire life for this kid. Like every second I've been living past All for One going down has been for this kid, because this is one of the, you can tell he's one of those things like, I devote my entire life to your cause, All for One, you know, one of those kind of guys. And obviously he's into the whole science aspect of it. So you can tell, like, he's like, this was my one mission in life. I was continuing to live purely for developing this child. I guess he's not a child anymore, but mentally, sure. This kid here, developing him, making him be the apex, the culmination of our ultimate dream, right? And he feels like he's failed, and he's like, well, fuck, I mean, there goes my entire goddamn life down the drain. So, I mean, he certainly seems to think they've failed, and I don't think he's acting.
I don't think so, because like I've been saying, and I was right, giving my props here, is that if Shigaraki was at 100%, he'd probably solo. So what they all probably did.
Yeah, he said he was half cooked.
He was at 75. I saw the thing. He was at 75%.
There was a progress bar. I was just saying what the guy said in this chapter. He said, I'm going to have to wake him up, and it's a shame, too, because he's, like, half cooked or something.
Yeah, but I was looking at the bar. He was at 75%. So I'm assuming he was at, like, 75% power right now. Like, right? Like, this is, like, we're going, like, Toguro style shit. Like, I'm going to beat you at, like, 70% of my power.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume them stopping him from getting full power just means that if he was at 100%, he would have soloed instantly as soon as he woke up. But now that he's at 75%, that's their fighting chance. He's still going to be a monster, right? But it's going to be easier for them to beat him, if that makes sense.
That's exactly what I'm thinking too. Although I'm just reading over here, he said the machines are busted, but what about the data? Perfect. I just have to wake him up before more fluid leaks out. But damn it, I hate to do it when he's only half-baked. All for One and me, this was meant to be the culmination of our dream. Blast it all. So he's even acting like even the act of waking him up at this point is like almost insulting to their dream, right? He's acting like even this is assuming he still wakes up, is still like a disgrace to what he wanted it to be. So like that's basically implying no matter how powerful he ends up being whenever we do see him awake, nothing compared to what he would have been if the whole thing was able to happen, you know?
Yeah, and so my question to you is, this is what I want to get into right now, since this video is going to be short as shit. I want to know, what will this thing do to him? So I was talking to another one of my friends on Messenger, and he was talking about how maybe maybe the fluid was gonna give him a piece of All for One's quirk,
Hmm.
like a piece of his power or something like that, right?
Could
Like
be.
he would have like. So my question is, because originally I thought it was just going to boost up his quirk even more, a little bit, right? So you know how like when he removed his limiter, he was like destroying like towns and shit, right?
Yeah, I don't see how you up it from that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm assuming it has to be something.
Yeah, I suppose I could see that theory being a thing. Like maybe, because obviously, how I'm trying to think how to word this here. How the quirk that All Might has worked was you could like pass it down through generations. Maybe like All for One was kind of jealous of that. And he wanted to be able to pass because he was able to obviously take quirks, give quirks, but he probably I'm gonna guess he couldn't give his own away. And then maybe they had to find like a scientific way to do that, and then that's what this goop is. I don't know.
Okay.
Just guessing. I mean, I'm just trying to logic your theory there. I have no idea.
Yeah. Because I mean, because I really feel like this whole thing, because the way the doctor's putting it is going to be something extremely important. So I think it'd be a very bad cop out to be like, oh,
I certainly hope it's not just a basic power increase, like some stat increase in a video game. Like it's not just going to be like level up.
It's definitely going to be a game changing power up for sure. Like this is like because if he's banking on Shigaraki becoming like the next All for One, then he's clearly whatever he was doing to Shigaraki. It's definitely going to be a power boost to the point.
I think you mean one for all, just to clarify, because commenters will get on our ass about that.
Yeah, sometimes it's confusing, but it's
just think about which one sounds more douchey. Like All for One, one for all. You know.
Oh yeah, so it's definitely going to be a situation to where okay, if this tube, whatever this tube is going to do, maybe increase his quirk power, maybe give him another quirk, or give him like something similar to All for One's quirk, right? So like whatever this boost does, it's going to have to do something to the point to where the heroes are going to be like, oh shit, we need to retreat, right? Because I don't think that the villains are gonna. I know there's gonna be some death, but I think what's gonna happen is this is my theory, but it's gonna be to a point to where the heroes are gonna have to retreat because I don't know if you guys watched Fairy Tail, but when Fairy Tail was had the Dark Guild arc, I forgot the guild they were fighting, but they were fighting a guild that damaged fucking their teammates, and the entire guild just ran and decided to attack the other guild, and then they were putting on a decent fight, but then after a while they were getting overran and they had to retreat. I figured it was gonna be something like that, to where like they were doing really good, but once Shigaraki awakens, it's gonna be a whole like, oh, we have to retreat. Shigaraki's too powerful. He's killing heroes left and right. We have to go before any more casualties come.
So
right?
my personal
that's
preference,
what I think.
Yeah, no. So what I'm hoping for is Shigaraki comes out, no retreating happens. They might try, but I want Shigaraki to come out, get a lot of character deaths, like a good chunk, like a lot of characters we love end up dying. Not nothing crazy, nothing berserk level or anything, but like, just a good chunk die to really change the story, and then they retreat after the good chunk die, and that's where you have time skip. Like all of a sudden, like that's where essentially the I would like a tone shift for the series, where it's like now we all like it's gritty, dark time. Like okay, well it's been years since this. I assume the villains would essentially take over society. You know what I mean? And then like the heroes would kind of be pushed to the outskirts, and it'd be like a role reversal. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like all of a sudden now, up until this point, it's been the League of Villains and the Liberation Army acting from the shadows to try to change society. They would be in charge of society, and then post time skip would be the heroes acting from the shadows to try to change society back.
Yeah, I can see it, because I definitely, because that's my big theory, is that they're gonna have to retreat regardless.
I'm sure retreating will happen. I just hope it's after many deaths to really
that's what I'm saying. We basically have the same theory, basically.
Yeah,
because I could see because there's going to be at one point where they're going to have to retreat. So I see where it's going to be a situation to where, like, as soon as Shigaraki awakes, like, shit starts hitting the fan, right? because we can remember we still have Gigantamax still there. He hasn't come out yet, so I'm assuming unless Hirokoshi does something different, he's gonna wake up as soon as Shigaraki wakes up.
Oh yeah, they're basically linked.
That's 2 in 1, right? 2 unstoppable forces in one. Because remember, that gigantic dude has enough power to bust a fucking mountain.
Oh yeah.
No hero, to our knowledge, has that power yet that we've seen.
Other than maybe Prime All Might, but yeah.
Yeah, Prime All Might. So that's already something power scaling wise. There's going to be issues, right? And I'd even argue that. Do you think maybe a Class 1A or Class B might die?
If I were to come up with a list on top of my head, I think Present Mike is just prime for dying. Like he's standing right there. That'd make fucking Aizawa go extra edge, like even more edge. You know what I'm saying?
I can see some of the students dying. Honestly,
I'm trying to think. I think some of the students should. I'm trying to think who though. Who would be prime for dying? They have to be people we care about enough. You know who'd be a good choice? Kendo from Class B.
Yeah,
the one with the big hands.
Yeah, Kendo.
We know about her enough. She's like always been there. She's the one that like tells Monoma to shut the fuck up. And then, could be explored. They've literally said without Kendo, Monoma would like take over the class.
Yeah.
So Kendo dies. Everyone's sad for a bit, but then Monoma's like, well, I'm just gonna take over this class now.
You already know a fan's favorite death would be Mineta. You know how many people would love that.
He's not dying. I'll tell you why he's not dying. I'm going to tell you why
he's not dying.
He's not going to die. First of all, the pervert's never... Oh, wait, hold on. Jiraiya died. Well, let me tell you why I don't think he's going to die. Typically, the pervert, character path in these things is to eventually kind of redeem themselves to be a little bit less scummy. Yeah. Like, they have, a big moment. Like, a defining, saving moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he can't die without that, unless that is his death. Like his death is he saves someone's life finally, and I don't know. It seemed a little weird though to me.
Yeah, so I could see Kamari dying. I could see Bug Guy dying. I can see Tape Guy dying.
Tape Guy needs Sero, first of all, is his name. I don't know how I remember that, but I do. He needs to do more things before dying. He has been in the background for fucking years. He cannot die without doing something.
Give every person their time to shine, and then they're dying.
No, see, because that's shitty writing, in my opinion. If you only give them their time, no, genuinely, if you only give them their time to shine, directly before they die, isn't that like procrastinating a paper till the last second?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, but I can see it.
Like Kubo did that a lot in Bleach, where Yamamoto eventually dies, and we only saw a couple things from him throughout the whole series, and then right before he died, we got a flashback. He showed off his Bankai, his ultimate form, and we're all sitting there wow, this is really cool. Oh god, he's gonna die, isn't he? Because all in 10 chapters he was showing all of his shit, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
So I would prefer someone to die. If someone's going to die, it should be people that have kind of had a large presence throughout the whole story. But not so large that it would, completely hinder the series without them, right? So that's why I think Kendo is, a perfect option. Someone that's been there doing stuff throughout the whole series, wouldn't feel very last second, yada, yada. Go ahead.
I agree with you, but I can just see it happening, honestly. I could see it. I could see that. I can see him killing off characters that didn't have their time to shine. I can see it. Just because I've read a lot of manga, I know it's kind of I know people are there's going to be people who aren't happy with that, but I know people who will be happy with that.
Bro, you know who'd be if Mineta died, the Twitter would rejoice. It'd be a new age of prosperity.
Yeah, they're retarded though, so they're retarded though. But it's funny because they're mad at Mineta for being a pervert, but he actually has one of the best character developments out of all of Class 1A. It's like Deku, Uraka, Momo, Asui, Todoroki, Bakugo, then Mineta. Did they not realize that Mineta had 2 character development moments more than half the more important cast? They don't realize this.
The problem with Mineta is he's not written as a charming perv. Jiraiya, kind of charming with his perversion. Uehara, very charming in his perversion. What? Huh?
I like him as a character. Like his character developments alone make him a good character. It's
I
just
get it.
like,
I'm just like
people focus too
I
much.
know zero women, like even women that aren't SJWs, even women that like love like other perv characters, just are creeped by him, and it's because he's written in such a way that's like it's a little too real. Like it feels like, unlike other anime pervs where they're just kind of like, oh, that's funny. Minetta's like actually the guy that's gonna like follow you home at night and like sniff your panties.
like I wouldn't agree with that, but it's just like he gets punished for his perviness, and that's not really all he is to his character. Like he has good moments.
Of course, of course, of course.
That's why I'm just like people are just focusing too much on his pervy side, and I put it on the fact that of just the era that we're in. I know you hate that, but that it's just like because imagine if Naruto came out today, if like some pervert characters came out today, right? Like it would. I legitimately feel like people wouldn't like Jiraiya and shit as much because of that. Like I think it's just because of era difference in what we're used to now. Like
I mean, that's definitely a part of it. I do think Minetta's a teensy bit different. Like there are genuine creepy parts with Mineta where he's like the part I always think of is where he's like literally drooling, leaning out of his room, like, I'll show you something amazing, ladies. Come into my room. Like that's a bit.
Yeah, like I can.
Sorry. The Piece de Resistance is where he looked at Eri like an 8-year-old, and he was like, "Yo, 10 years from now, hit me up."
Yo, like, bro, I get it.
You cannot defend that.
I definitely get it, bro. Like, I definitely know
that he wrote.
I definitely know the criticisms of him. Like, you can't defend his actions, but to be fair, though, you can't really defend like any privilege in manga.
Of course, yeah.
Right? They just have the thing is about perfect characters that you have to draw them redeemingly, and Mineta has
a fine line. It's a balancing act when you're drawing a character like that to make them still loved, yeah.
And he has redeeming qualities. It's just that in this day and age of judgmental Twitter, they're not going to focus on his redeeming qualities. They're going to focus on he's a fucking pervert. He deserves to die. Shitty character. And back then, we like Master Roshi, Jiraiya, Urahara, as he's talking about different characters like that. It was a different time, so people were, I would say, more accepting of pervert characters.
I think it was also, I'll be honest, I think it was a lot more just guys reading back then as well. And whereas now manga, and especially like My Hero Academia is so popular now, it's like almost mainstream in America. Like it literally outsold some like Hollywood movies when the movie was here in America.
Yeah. So I mean, because this is just with that alone, right? It's just like, okay, you have this big thing, and with era change and all this extra stuff like that, it's just inevitable. So I think, do people have a reason to complain about him per se? Sure, you can complain about how he acts, but
at the end of the day, it's still fiction. Like that supersedes everything. It's still fiction. Who cares?
Yeah. So I think focusing just because it's actually the pervert character is just really kind of undermining his quality as a character, because he definitely has quality as a character. Like I said, he's probably one of the first few characters as Class 1A who had character development moments. Right?
Yeah.
And keep in mind that he was the one who beat Midnight.
Yeah.
Sero was asleep.
Oh, so speaking of Sero, still needs more.
So my thing is like, yeah, you can complain about his being a pervert. That's fine. You have every right to do that, but don't just undermine don't just ignore all the stuff Horikoshi has given us.
Yo, this fucking side tangent. This is how we make a long video with a chapter that like isn't like super a lot to talk about, I guess. Still a great chapter though. I did want to talk about Mirko at the beginning here.
Bunny girl.
Bro,
Bunny girl
so fucked up.
Bunny girl looks like she just got back from having the best sex of her life.
I don't know about that, Thurman.
Like, it's sex included, like, very bloody, biting, stab wounds.
I mean, if that's what is that what you're into? Is that sex for you?
No, bro, that's what those like people who are into emo goth girls do.
Well, anyway, I wasn't gonna go there. I was gonna say, I love this. There's this part here where Endeavor remembers the transmission that she sent, like a couple chapters ago. And, like, I love this, like, he's like, that was, like, 5 minutes ago. And you see how perfect, pristine, and healthy she looked? And look at her now. 5 minutes. Just how, and she was in here alone, holding down the goddamn fort for 5 minutes. That is so goddamn respectable. Like, wow. that was just a cool moment there where Endeavor was like, wow, she's been in here alone fighting all these fucks for 5 minutes straight, and like, look at her.
Oof.
I don't know, I thought that was cool. And then I'm trying to think here. Yeah, essentially, let's see here. Oh yeah, you have Eraserhead, basically MVPing or keeping all these quirks erased. One slips by him. Yeah, I suppose that's really it. Because then it's just the crust guy shoots a thing to let Mike get past, and then he does the scream that we already talked about. So, suppose that's everything for the chapter, and we already discussed that. And for some reason, half the video is about Mineta. Final thoughts?
Yeah. So with that, I would say I give this chapter 8. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay.
And with that,
Peace.
peace.